Chefs, what is the beef? Cam here. Welcome to another live video. In today's video, talking about the problem that chefs have where they put work before themselves and all the effects that it has on your life. We're also going to be diving into what you can do to fix that, and then from there I'm going to give you some steps that you can fucking take to putting yourself on the path to not putting work first, putting yourself first, and being a healthier, happier version of yourself as a result. Let the fucking truck pass. Jesus Christ. So, diving in. You put yourself first. That's the key. And what you're doing right now is you're putting work first. You're putting the hours, you're putting the menus to be done for Christmas, you're putting the insane services, you're putting the people that you work with, you're putting your boss, you're putting all of these things ahead of you. And as a result, you end up in a spin every single day where if your number one priority is work, then you're walking in and you need to get yourself boxed off within your section. You need to get through your prep list. You need to get these things done. And the last thing that you think of is food for yourself. It's always food for someone else. The last thing you think of is exercise for you. It's always, how can I get everything boxed off so that we get through this service all right? I.e., you never, ever, ever put yourself first. So the pain that comes with that, chef, is that you end up chasing your tail on a daily basis. You constantly feel busy, but because you never focus on yourself, you start going to shit. Whereas over the course of a couple of years, you've maybe replaced actually eating meals with picking and binge eating and drinking. So therefore, as a result of those things, you end up packing on a load of weight. The other part of it is going to be because you're so focused on getting through service, getting everything done, that you end up needing a lot of coffee, a lot of caffeine, a lot of fucking sugary drinks throughout the day to actually get yourself through, because you're so exhausted and you're so under recovered from the fucking late nights that your energy ends up totally fucked. And when you're getting to days off, then because your energy is fucked, you're waking up late, you've got nothing done, and then by the time the evening comes around, the only thing you can think to do is wind down with a couple of drinks and a fucking takeaway. So you end up in this spin and this vicious cycle of having energy in work because of the vices, and then not having energy in work because you are absolutely fucked from work. You will then have a crossroads in your life, chef. After 5 to 10 years of doing this, you'll look at yourself one day and you go, what the fuck has happened to me? I've completely lost myself. I've completely lost my body, my mind, you know, the direction that I was going in my life, because I've always prioritized being a chef and what that entails. I'm here to tell you that there is a way out of this. There is a way to cook and perform and work without completely destroying yourself. There is a way. But the thing that you need to get to first, the fact that you need to settle in your own mind, the fact that you need to settle in your own mind is whether you and your life and what everything is going on in your life is more important than work. If work and you're making your boss money and the team and all of this shit, if that becomes more important than you and your family and your fucking happiness and your well-being, then of course you're going to feel like dog shit. You're going to get to a stage where, you know, you're questioning everything. You got self-doubt, your health is in rags, your headspace is in rags. But at the end of the day, that won't get fixed unless you start making a stand and going, I'm not going to accept this anymore. I'm going to start fixing it. I'm going to start putting myself first. Any of the chefs that I've coached have gotten to that stage where they had a man in the mirror moment or a woman in the mirror moment, and they said, okay, cool, I can't take this anymore. I need to do something. I need to fix this. I'm not going to let work rip the piss out of me anymore. So they start the exercise, they start structuring things, they start taking names, they start setting goals, they start upping their standards. And what happens when they do that is that things change rapidly. So what we do in Chef It is we implement the Chef It Elite path, and what that requires you to do is get very clear on what your problem is right now. Are you trying to lose a lot of weight? Are you trying to fucking fix your energy levels? Are you trying to improve your relationships that have faltered as a result of the industry? You know, are you trying to save your career that maybe you've had doubts about whether you can continue on? Get clear on what your problem is and what you're trying to fix. Then you set goals to achieve that. You know, so again, that could be losing X amount of weight. It could be getting to a stage where you're running and you're doing regular exercise. Whatever the thing is, get clear on the problem, get clear on the goal. OBG, Marty begging, what's happening? From there, what we use in our path, and as you go forward from there, is that you start structuring. Like if you get to a stage in your own mind where you're like, I'm not going to take this from work anymore, I'm not going to fucking get called in on a day off anymore, I'm not going to work double the hours that I actually get paid for. You know, if you're working a fucking 70, 80 hour week, yeah, and you're getting paid for fucking 40. It's like, you got to make a stand on whether you're going to accept that anymore. And eventually you get to the point where you start putting yourself first. And when you put yourself first, then the step there is structure, structure, structure. Yeah, structure. So apply mise en place in your personal life. Think about it. Walk into a kitchen. It's a shit show. Cool. Gary, how you doing, Chief? Good to see you. So you walk into a kitchen. There's a list of things to be done. You know, there's ingredients, there's prep, and you take that prep and you box a section off. That is organization, that's planning, that's structuring. And that structure allows you to operate and work. Now, if you do the same thing in your personal life where you wake up on a day off, let's say you're wrecked with energy, cool. But even if you had 2-3 big things written down that you would like to get done, and you put a time down for getting each of them done, you're far more likely to get it done. And even if you don't get 100% of it, you're still going to feel satisfied. And it's far better than doing fuck all. That's what I mean by mise en place in your personal life. You then take that forward. When we look at exercise and nutrition, it doesn't matter what stage you're at, you need to start creating routines for yourself that revolve around eating well and fucking exercising. And no, it doesn't need to be insane amounts of time. For a lot of chefs, initially, making the time is going to be a difficult thing. So you need to be able to reduce that workload and make it manageable at the beginning. Never exercise before in your life, walk around your block 20 minutes, 30 minutes every day. That's all I want you to fucking do. And then what else we can do is, once you're good at that, then we break it into a jog. Then we could take it into gym sessions. But that will all be built over time. The first and foremost is getting the structure nailed of moving every single day, doing something small. Then the same thing with your nutrition, very, very basic. Once we have that nailed, the way that this is all consolidated is that you surround yourself with people who are in the same boat. If you walk into a kitchen and you've prepped food for the week and you take that prep meal out and they're laughing at you and they're saying, why is this dickhead eating that? You're in the fucking wrong place. You could do two things. You could leave, or you could stand your fucking ground, and you could explain why that me being healthy in a kitchen is actually triggering your fucking insecurity. You know, and all of you will be in the exact same position I was in a couple of years. It just hasn't bit you in the fucking arse yet. So that's a mentality that you need to have. But in making a lifestyle change, chef, and turning your life around and losing that 25 kilos, getting to a stage where you are, you know, happy and healthy and work isn't fucking you up beyond your wildest dreams, you need to get to a stage where you are putting yourself first and you're surrounding yourself with the chefs who are actually on the same path as you. So again, Chef at Elite is what we do. That's what we do. There's 55 of us in there right now who are fucking all pushing, who are all in the same boat, who've all shared in the same struggles, and there's no judgment and there's no fucking cunts that are allowed in that you'd see in a lot of chef groups. So that's what we do, and that's how we consolidate it. You need to ask yourself the same questions, like who am I around? Who do I need around me to make this thing happen? From there then, after you get that nailed, it's about fucking reprogramming your habits. You simply structure things, you have a goal, you have a problem nailed down. From there then, it's about mapping out, okay, cool. If I know that I'm the priority of my life and I'm not going to let work destroy me anymore, I'm not going to have the piss ripped out of me, I'm not going to have my days off ripped out from under me, you know, if you're not going to accept that anymore, that's fantastic. Then what you do is, once we have everything structured, the idea of simplicity is that you do a consistency. The idea of doing something consistently is that you build a habit out of it. And when you have habits formed, and if a chef can get to a stage where they wake up on their day off and their first thought is shoes on, out for a run, they've won the game. If they get to a stage where their first thought when they come home is to have a fucking cup of tea and read a book or something along those lines to wind down, instead of needing a joint and a fucking can of beer to wind down, then you've won the game. Because those habits start to form who you are. Because when you're just in the habit of exercising and you're in the habit of taking care of yourself and you're maintaining that self-respect, you can then look at yourself in the mirror and go, I'm a different person. I believe myself to be a different person. And I really think that so many chefs have this chef life mentality. Hashtag chef life. A lot of fucking bollocks. I was talking about this yesterday. And it's like, so many of chefs have that mentality of deserve to feel good. They don't deserve to have a good life, to have their health, to have all of these things. And this mentality, although fucking 15, 20, 30 years ago, the likes of fucking, you know, Marco Pierre White, the likes of Marcus Waring, these old school chefs who've achieved that level would probably still talk about that mentality. That work ethic is important, but at the end of the day, that work ethic has worked for maybe top 1%. What about the other 99% who are floating in the fucking grey area, you know, whose lives are destroyed, whose lives are ruined? What about them? You got to understand this, chefs, that when you believe yourself to be a happy, healthy person as a result of a simple structure and getting the results over 6 to 12 months, you realize how much shit you've taken in your life. And I realize that so many of you take shit because you're conditioned to believe that you should take shit. Yeah? I'll say that again because that's really important. You take shit because chefs are conditioned to believe that they should take shit from people. You know, that you're supposed to be unhappy, that you're supposed to be unhealthy, you're supposed to be depressed, you're supposed to do fucking drugs, you're supposed to drink like a cunt, you're supposed to smoke 30 or 40 cigarettes a day, you know? And unless you start breaking that programming down and you start making a stand for who the fuck you want to be, nothing's going to change. But all I want you guys to take from these videos, what I say to you, is that you watch them, you listen to what I'm saying, and maybe a light bulb happens in your mind about what you're taking. Because I know for a fact that anyone that's watching this video right now has taken a lot of shit in their time. You know, and the day is going to come at some point along the line where you're not going to take that anymore. And I hope that day comes soon. I really do. Understand it's possible to cook and be happy and healthy. That's what my message is. That's what I'm seeking to deliver. That's what I want chefs to be able to do. But that only happens when you get to a place in your mind where you're not willing to take it anymore. Where you're not willing to be abused, and you're not willing to abuse yourself at the end of the day, because they are our decisions. With that in mind, chefs, I hope this has been an enlightening one. I know it's a long video. There was some stuff we spoke about at the start that will really get into your head. Please go back and watch that if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. This is what I want you to do for me. Leave a comment below. How long in your career have you put work first? How many sacrifices did you make for the kitchen and the team and not for yourself? How many Christmases did you miss? How many holidays and bank holidays did you miss? How many of these things did you miss out on in your life? Family events, your own fucking things. How many of those did you miss out on as a result of putting the kitchen before yourself? That's what I want to know, chefs. Anyway, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Gary, thanks a million, bro. OBG, you're the man. Keep the fucking dream alive. Only a couple of days left, Larry. And Marty, I'll catch you soon. Steve Maloney, hope the recovery's going well. Everyone else, I will catch you all soon. Have a good day and survive the weekend. Keep your head. It's going to be all good.